As many of you already know, I just came back from the Dominican Republic. While I was in the Dominican Republic, I had a good time. I would say, we smoke cigars over here. We are cigar aficionado. I don't even know the word. This particular cigar here is by AJ Fernandez. It's a Requiem. He's right here in Miami. Fun fact. But while out in the Dominican Republic, you had people there with bags of cigars. Same thing like when I was in Bahamas, they come with bags of cigars. But I belong to 2 cigar lounges down here in Miami. And so I know what a cigar looks like. Tell me why they up there selling fake Cohibas. Cohibas is a Cuban cigar. Cohibas are pretty expensive. But they up here selling fake cigars and not knowing that I know what the hell I'm looking at. Anywho, I had a great time in the Dominican Republic. Y'all should go. I was in Sosua. While in Sosua, we hit 300 subscribers. And let me tell you how I found out. Now, usually YouTube or whatever, like I send a message, YouTube, we have like YouTube Studio and stuff like that. And they'll let you know whatever. Or when you log in, they'll let you know. I didn't find out that way. I found out because I got a notification on my phone that a certain person commented. Now there was people comment before and after him. I don't know why. I just seen this particular notification, and it was no other person. And I told him I'm gonna give him a shout out. No other person than the legendary, the demigod himself, Langston Kinderhook. Why I always see his comment, I just find it. It finds me. So, but shout out to you, Mr. Langston Kinderhook, man. He's been supporting. If this channel, like I said it before, I'm a man of my word. If this channel ever like really blows up, I know my day ones. You will be if we ever have like merch or anything like that. Free ski. No, you ain't got to pay nothing. I show love to people that show me love. But yeah, man, we had a good time in Sosua. And we hit 300 subscribers. The channel is continuously growing at a consistent rate. It tells me that maybe I know what I'm doing. Maybe. Y'all know me. I've messed some stuff up. I'm trying to stop cussing so much. It's YouTube. So, yeah. So, with that being said, let's start the show.
Ma'am, I should warn you, I do have the authority to make a citizen's arrest.
Taser!
I got people threatening my safety. I'm the security officer here.
You ain't no real cop, you a flashlight cop.
What it is, people, what they do. Welcome back, top flight security of the world. I am your host, your friendly neighborhood security guard, Flashlight. Now, I came across, this news clip as I was scrolling the interwebs. It said Maryland security guard impersonates like a cop or something. So I watched a few seconds of it because I like to give y'all my raw reaction. Nothing here is pre-scripted. Everything is just raw. Before we get into the news clip, we real security guards, us, the guards and the guardettes, you know, we do not condone impersonating police officers. We don't condone that shit. We take our job serious. It's especially where some of our posts where we at, it's extremely serious posts. Some of us are at I know a few guys that work at the Miami-Dade water and sewer, you know, something that, you know, millions of people would be out of water and sewage and everything. So we're at government buildings. So we take our job very seriously. We don't play when it comes to impersonating a police officer. That to be real, that is when you hear that, it's like, bro, you a tactical Tom. You lame. Like, for what? I'm trying to find a way to explain it better. That's like the real security guards. That's like the bottom of the barrel type guys. For what? For what? You're a criminal. You're doing that to break the law and to do whatever you're trying to do, rob people, whatever. So we don't condone that shit, man. If you try to impersonate a police officer, here's the thing, and even security guards, we got the gear and everything. Some of us can dress up as, you know, police for Halloween. We don't even do that. We rather be a dinosaur or something than dress up as a police officer for Halloween or something. You know, you just so lame for that, bro. So we're going to get into the clip. As you know, we don't pause over here. We don't talk through the clip while the clip is playing. So without any further ado, I would like to entitle this video "The Imposter Must Be Destroyed." Let go.
Tonight, a security guard was arrested in Prince George's County for lying to police and telling them he was a D.C. police officer. Hyattsville police say they are trying to determine if the man may have had suspicious interactions with residents who believed he was a legitimate sworn officer. Our Rafael Sanchez Cruz spoke to the Hyattsville police chief tonight and has more from the Mall of Prince George's.
Robert Mouchette Jr. was arrested here inside the parking lot at the mall at Prince George's. He allegedly first told officers he was DC police, but later changed his story. Inside his vehicle, they found items that led them to believe that he may be impersonating law enforcement officers. Hyattsville police say 53-year-old Robert Mouchette Jr. was driving his dark green Ford Explorer in the parking lot of the mall at Prince George's Thursday night around 11:25. He had these blue and bright emergency lights on in his dashboard. When officers stopped him, Mouchette Jr. allegedly identified himself as DC police, but later said he was a special police officer for a security agency.
This is clearly a case of an individual who's on a power trip, who's doing nothing more than trying to use illegitimate authority to stop people and victimize people.
Inside his vehicle, officers found a loaded handgun, a police-style badge, ballistic vest, ammunition, handcuffs, and apparel with the word police on it. Officers determined that the security employee was only authorized to have yellow lights in his vehicle, and that due to prior criminal convictions, Mouchette Jr. is prohibited from possessing firearms under Maryland law.
This person was not associated with law enforcement. He was not associated with Hyattsville or Hyattsville Police Department. If he stopped you, if he interacted with you in any way, we want you to come forward and let us know.
Police Chief Jared Towers says incidents like these jeopardize the relationship between law enforcement officers and residents, particularly when it comes to the immigrant community. Mouchette Jr. has been charged with impersonating a police officer and is facing 5 weapons charges, including a firearm possession with felony conviction. Mouchette Jr. was released on bail yesterday. According to court documents, he's due back in Prince George's County Court on April 10th. In Hyattsville, Maryland, Rafael Sanchez Cruz, WUSA 9.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, you heard it here. You heard it from the horse's mouth. Like I stated before, we don't respect that shit, man. We don't do that around here. Not on these parts. It said that, so I don't know other states. I can only speak on Florida. So let's get into the law. They said he had red and blue lights, which we all know is illegal. Only real police officers, ambulance, things like that can have red and blue lights, emergency lights like that. But it said that security personnel, I guess in their state in Maryland, have yellow lights. That's not the law here in Florida. I believe we can only have green and orange lights. They call it amber. They call the orange light amber. This is orange. We can have, matter of fact, I've seen security companies down here. They would have a combination of white and red, white and blue, amber white, green white, amber and green, but blue and red can never be put together. So I've seen a combination of that down here in Florida, but according to the law, let me pull up the law for you. We're going to read it. All right. In Florida, private security vehicles can display green and amber. We just call it orange because it looks orange. Lights while performing security duties in the public or private property. Light colors. Green and amber lights are permitted, but neither color can make up more than half of the total light displayed. So that's what I explained earlier. They have a mixture. So it's a light bar. Let's say there's 8 lights on it. 4 must be amber, 4 must be green. You can't, it has to be 50-50. One, you can't have more than the other, or white, or whatever. Emergency vehicles lights laws varies. Emergency vehicle light laws vary by state, so it is important to check the laws for the state where you plan to operate the vehicle. Some things to consider while choosing lights for a security vehicle: LED lights. LED lights are durable, long-lasting, eco-friendly. They can last up to 50,000 hours and are resistant to damage in cold temperature. Dash lights can be mounted inside the vehicle with suction cups. I've seen that before. In brackets, they are easy to move around and can be useful for undercover purposes. What they mean with undercover purposes, so there really isn't like undercover work when it comes to security, unless you're in the private investigator sector. That's a whole nother thing. And we don't really consider private investigators. They're not security guards. They're private investigators. Whether they're for an insurance company or personal, somebody hired them or whatever. But in my mind, the only reason why it's 2 reasons, and both of them are sick reasons, why someone would impersonate a police officer. One reason is to you get some sick ass high from people looking at you in a authoritative, what's the word I'm looking for? Like an authoritative state. I would tell you, as a security guard, looking the way I look sometimes, my vest gun, some people might walk by, give you the what's up, some people get a sick high because, as kids, when you see a police officer, you see kids like, police officer, da da da, and you want to feel that. What y'all in the comments, please, y'all know I'm slow. That ego boost, that look at me type type thing. The other reason is to do illegal stuff. So you want to pull people over. There was a case where a guy was impersonating a police officer. He wasn't a security guard. He was impersonating a police officer, and he was pulling over women. And you can guess what? I can't say that on YouTube. My thing is, you want to pull over people and do God knows what. You can be stealing people money, things, doing, it rhymes with state. You can be doing whatever, man. There's no reason to impersonate a police officer. Guys like that is the main reason security guards get the rep that we do. You hear the whole saying, oh, you want to be a police officer so bad you couldn't make it. First of all, let me tell you, a lot of security guards can be police officers, but I get it, and I see why people would say that, because of guys like this. And just like how one apple can spoil the whole bunch, how some people might look at law enforcement, some law enforcement guys might do wrong. Next thing you know, all law enforcement, same thing. It's like, you see this guy impersonating I think he had a Glock 26, it looked like. It was a little small compact, the police insignia, vest, all of that stuff. It's for what, dog? For what was you doing? I wonder if they got more on this guy to see if he was pulling people over or acting in a law enforcement capacity. What was he doing? Was he pulling over trying to get girls' numbers, or what was he doing? We don't know. But there's no reason to do this. This is ridiculous. 1,000 years in jail. I don't care. When people blatantly do stuff like this, like you go out of your way to buy police gear, I don't whatever. So yeah, I do see why. As security guards, we all do see. We see these guys here. I wish that the public wouldn't paint a broad stroke with a brush, and paint us all in the same light. We're not like this. I tell you what, let me tell you something. Do you know how much gear that we have on? How heavy? If you put on a plate carrier, I'm talking about a real plate carrier, plate in the front, plate in the back, and I got 2 side plates. When you're done with your shift, the last thing you want to do is have all that stuff on. Your duty belt could be 30 pounds. You maybe 2-3 magazines. You got cuffs. You got your firearm on you. You might have mace. You might have a taser. Whatever. I got a tourniquet. When you take all of that stuff off at the end of the day, it is the equivalent of when y'all take off y'all bra at the end, it's like, it's just, you don't want to put that stuff back on. And sometimes when you start work, you're like, I gotta put this back on, So this is not us. This guy is totally wrong. Take him to jail, man. Lock him up. Shit. We don't care, because real guards, the guards, us, we don't condone stuff like that. Nigga lame. So if you enjoyed the video, go ahead. If you feel it in your heart, you don't have to. Go ahead and hit the subscribe button, hit the like button. I never said this before. I think the notification thing, listen, y'all know I'm new to YouTube, so y'all know more about YouTube than I do. Do whatever you gotta do. But we're also on Facebook. We're also on X, Instagram, and Rumble. We're on Rumble. Go ahead and hit the follow button. I wish they would change that follow button to like support. I don't like the word like my followers or my fans. I hate that. I feel like, and it's just me. I feel like you're saying you're better than somebody, and I hate that, because I'm not better than nobody. So if you want to support the boy, help us reach, the 500 subscriber mark that we're trying to reach. Go ahead, if you feel it in your heart, in your soul, go ahead and subscribe and follow on all the platforms. If you notice, we're going to wrap up with this. If you go back to the beginning, when I first started dropping these videos, and look now, my speech has been getting better. I've been working on it. I don't say as much. So I've been trying to work on that, and not only would that, be good just for YouTube, but just in everyday speaking. And I just did it. Speaking in general to people, it's good to, you know what? Peace.
You a flashlight cop.
Man, it feels good to be back.